Hello and welcome to this MBL webinar. My name is Jo Morris and I'm going to be with you for the next hour where we're going to be looking at becoming an MLRO or an MLCO, and I'm going to try to give you a practical guide for day one and beyond. What's actually going to happen after or as soon as you take on the role. So we're going to be looking at this morning. I want to set the scene a little bit. I want to look at the Proceeds of Crime Act 2002 Part 7 and the Terrorism Act 2000 Part 3 of that Terrorism Act. And we'll look at things like what is an AML officer, what are the roles and responsibilities of the MLRO and MLCO. Day one. Where does it start? What do you need to do right from the very beginning? And then the journey, taking you through those first days, those first weeks, those first months, and eventually get into the end of the first year. So you've either been chosen or you've been volunteered for the role of the MLRO and or sometimes the MLCO. But what happens then? What actually happens after that appointment has actually been made? Well, you might feel a little bit nervous about the role. Where do you begin? Will I be able to do the role? What should I have in place? How do I follow on from the last person that was in the role? And of course, the roles of MLRO and MLCO are not just titles, they are actual jobs these days. So a lot of work has to be put into these roles. It doesn't come together overnight, so it's not a quick fix where you can just take over from someone else and switch the button and that's it. It takes a lot of planning and things being put into place and trying to make it your own role. So where do we start though? And what are we supposed to actually be doing? Well, I think one of the first things to think about is the key legislation that's actually involved in terms of what we need to be looking at. Now, if we look at financial crime, there are loads and loads of pieces of legislation. We could be here for a long time. But when we think about the role of MLRO in particular, we're thinking about what the responsibilities are. And the main responsibility that you will always see is that you are there to actually make reports to the NCA where there is knowledge or suspicion of money laundering, and that will come obviously from under the Proceeds of Crime Act Part 7, which is the money laundering part, and Part 3 of the Terrorism Act.